auditing, and yet it was still happening. So it's hard to manage, and I will say that. I mean, we have hundreds of thousands of suppliers, and that's not an exaggeration. And how do we know that they're all doing the right thing? You can't monitor every single one of them. But it gets out into the publicity, and that's what can happen. So keeping it green, here's another example. It's been a very hot and very dry summer. There's a mandatory water conservation alert in place due to the severe drought. You've been doing your part to minimize water usage while adequately maintaining the golf course. However, an important tournament's coming up and the potential to bring a lot of recognition to the course, a lot of revenue is expected to be generated from the event. A good friend of yours works for the water department and is aware of your difficult situation. Wanting the course to be in excellent condition for the event, but unable to properly water the course. Tough situation. He offers to auto water usage records for the course and suggests that you water during specific hours during the night so that no one will know. Your course is suffering financially, and this event is sure to help. Otherwise, you may need to lay off some of your employees. How many of you are going to say you're going to water the course? There were a couple. Okay, the answer here is obvious, right? You know what you're supposed to do while sitting in an auditorium on a college campus. Now put yourself as the manager of a golf course, and you know it looks like it's been a very dry season here in Colorado, and you're faced with this situation. And what I want you to do is to talk about it with your neighbor, discuss the different sides, each taking a different side. So one of you has to be the villain and say, this is what you need to do. And how are you going to convince? What language are you going to use to convince? And as the pro golf manager, what language are you going to use to defend your position? And talk about the ramifications.
So, water? Good water?
Get y'all warmed up.
Huh? I don't think I could. Water altering records is just not a smart idea.
It's cool now to have an app on your smartphone turn screen on and off on your phone.
Dude, it's so ridiculous. Like, at my home course, they have the radios. Like, you just turn the switch on the radio and it shades on the water. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It's like there's nobody around, all of a sudden the sprinkler just comes under it. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's amazing.
And the fact that those gigantic things.
I know, it's scary.
That new app on share screens where you take a picture of the whole set of your check and deposit it on your phone.
No.
Just hold your check, snap a picture of both sides.
Really?
Deposit it right in your phone.
Interesting. Oh. That's crazy.
I saw the guy that was around his house get ready to go to the store. Making a shopping was in charge of that. And he would go in and say, okay, this item, what exactly the size, what the brand, and then you could put it in the store, like Safeway, just the corner of Union and Academy.
Okay. How many, who was the villains? Villains, raise your hand. There were only 2 villains?
Oh, villains? Yes.
Were successful in convincing the PTA manager to water. Good job. What arguments did you use?
I just said that after 20 was over, we pay back anything that it cost that guy or whatever to change the record.
Now you're right.
Anybody else? All right. So, what arguments did you use? I mean, I heard your argument. PGA, Professional Golf Managers, PGMs. What did you use? How was your argument back? It's not the right thing to do. Did you just keep it at that?
Redesign the golf course.
Oh.
Cut the rough, a lot of the rough in the areas between the tee and the fairways out,
Oh,
saving the water for the fairways and greens.
that's good. Yeah, good idea. Very good.
Here's a great one. Along that line, you're a golf course, and you're given an allotment of water to use per year. And if you use it, you get it the same allotment next year. And there's a drought going on,
Yeah.
and but you didn't use the water you needed, so at the end of the year, you're dumping it in the desert so that you can get your allotment next year so you don't lose it. How
Yeah.
about that one?
Yeah, that is. That
And you
is.
see that a lot in Arizona,
Yeah.
New Mexico, the desert areas.
Right, right, absolutely.
But yeah, with
Just
the-
so that you can maintain your same allotment.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like your answer to the first part, because part of what we always try to do is have you come up with creative solutions. So, you know, when people are faced with ethical dilemmas, it's easy, it's easy, and I sit here in the auditorium, sitting in a conference room at one of our plants is the same thing. It's an easy decision to make in a conference room, but the people that can come up with creative ideas and what are some alternatives that we can do, so that we don't have to do something we shouldn't be doing, that we know we shouldn't be doing, and yet, still have a successful tournament. Okay, you had an idea?
For the argument, we had a drought here in Colorado Springs recently, and of all the golf courses in town, they only use less than 1% of the water that the entire city used. So I would use that argument.
Yeah.
And the other side of it too is that, like, I wouldn't want the meter doctors like this scenario said, because that's definitely unethical. But I would cut back as much as possible, but I wouldn't kill the course, because that could potentially put you out of business.
Absolutely. You could. Yeah.
A big thing is like we work with you superintendent, if he looks at his golf course and which is the drier areas, things like that, it just uses water the most efficiently you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you let your roughs go a little bit, and then you keep your fairways and your greens and your tee boxes where most of the play is at least supposed to happen, depending
Right.
on the skill you have playing.
You hope it's happening.
Like you said, you can always kind of limit and be more efficient with your water.
Right.
Rather than trying to steal.
Another creative solution to how to manage the water.
Well, as a superintendent,
Yeah.
just thinking about it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And your idea about the water usage too being a minuscule part of the entire city, something from an environment, okay, my background's in environmental engineering. I worked as an environmental engineer for 15 years. And before I made a career change. And one of the things we would do, if we couldn't meet a discharge limit because it was so incredibly tight, we'd go to the city and we'd negotiate with them. What can we do? Can we have, instead of a concentration-based average, a weighted average? Which a weighted average we can make. Concentration, that was difficult. What other options do we have? So we would negotiate with the cities to try to figure out a workable solution where it was a win-win for everybody. Can we be surcharged? There's a lot of options available if you're willing to work with the city.
Okay, golf courses, Rhonda, you can use recycled water or non-potable water
Right.
that doesn't have any other uses, so
Yeah.
that would be a way to be creative about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good. Okay, it is 5 till 3, and I know this is a long session, so we're going to take a short break. Make sure, if you're interested in acidic grips, to put your name in the basket, and please take a pen because I don't want to take those back to Cleveland with me. Okay. So,
Let's just make it 5 minutes,
5
okay?
minutes. Okay, perfect. Thank you.